The Young and the Restless spoilers, Clare, Kyle, and more shocking Genoa City, a place rife with secrets, complicated love affairs, and constant intrigue, is preparing for some bold changes. The current plot of The Young and the Restless promises not only to bring big surprises but also to complicate already tense relationships. Clare and Kyle will make a bold move, while Billy Abbott is caught in the middle of a tense conflict. Along with that, Tessa will also play the role of a rescuer, and all developments will create a wave of strong changes in this city. Clare and Kyle, breakthrough and new challenges. Clare, a character who has been associated with much suffering and turmoil, is now facing an important decision. After much thought, she decides to enter a new chapter with Kyle, with whom she has had sweet times, but also challenges. However, not everything goes as expected. Clare discovers that she is pregnant, which comes as a huge shock to her and everyone around her. Not only is pregnancy a major life change for Clare, it is also a major obstacle to Audra and Victor Newman's plans. This puts Clare in a difficult position. How can she continue to build a relationship with Kyle while dealing with the anxiety of Victor's reaction and the unforeseen difficulties of having a child? Kyle, who has always wanted a happy family, will certainly be overjoyed by the news. However, with unexpected factors threatening his relationship with Clare, will he be able to maintain faith and continue to build a future with her? The two are at a crucial crossroads, as Clare reconsiders the idea of building a house with Kyle. But she is also filled with anxiety about the upcoming challenges, about the reaction of her family, especially from Victor. Kyle and Audra's relationship, Summer's intervention. Clare and Kyle's relationship is not always smooth sailing. At the same time, the appearance of Audra and Summer are indispensable elements in these stormy love stories. Audra, with her unclear intentions and motives, always tries to interfere in relationships, especially the relationship between Kyle and Clare. Summer's appearance further complicates the situation. She is not only a great concern for Kyle but also an agent that can strongly influence his decisions. It seems that Audra does not want the relationship between Kyle and Clare to develop well, and the appearance of Summer is a blow to their love that is in a testing period. Kyle faces a difficult choice: continue to pursue his relationship with Clare or allow his feelings for Summer and Audra to overwhelm him. Lola returns, the key to a love triangle. The next developments will surely keep the audience glued to the screen. The return of Lola, a character who once caused a stir in Genoa City, will make things even more complicated. Lola is not only a concern for Kyle and Clare but can also be the deciding factor in breaking up this complicated love triangle. Clare and Lola are no strangers to each other. They have had conflicts and mixed feelings in the past. When Lola returns, she will not hesitate to turn the pages of old history, and what she brings will certainly cause turmoil in Clare and Kyle's relationship. With Lola's appearance, will Clare face a powerful opponent? Will Kyle once again be troubled by conflicting emotions? Lola's presence brings many surprises to the relationships in the city, especially when she tries to win Kyle's heart again. This could be the deciding factor that causes Clare to face her uncontrollable emotions. Will this return put their relationship at a critical crossroads? Or will it be an opportunity for all three to rebuild a new future where love is not only a choice but also a challenge? Billy Abbott. Caught in the middle of a major conflict while Clare, Kyle, Audra, and Lola are making a mess of their lives, Billy Abbott is caught in the middle of a major conflict. Not only is he facing personal problems in his life, but he is also caught in the middle of battles over his career and family. Billy, with his complex personality and constant quest for justice, will have to make important decisions in the upcoming episodes. He may have to choose between protecting his personal values and facing betrayal from those closest to him. This uncertainty leaves Billy struggling with decisions about his career and relationships. Meanwhile, Tessa, as his savior, will try to help Billy weather this storm. Can she help Billy find the clearest path while he is surrounded by troubles? Highlights and unexpected unfinished plot. The upcoming developments on The Young and the Restless will definitely keep viewers waiting every minute. Clare and Kyle will face major challenges in their relationship, when Clare's pregnancy and the appearance of rivals in love will push things further. The love triangle with Audra and Summer will put Kyle in a difficult choice between love and commitment. Lola returns, and the emotional complexity between the three will make their relationship more tense than ever. Billy Abbott, who is caught in the middle of a great conflict, will still find ways to escape the challenges, and Tessa will be the one to rescue him in this difficult time. The surprises and shocks in the lives of the characters will continue to create important milestones in the story, and no one can predict what will happen next. Genoa City is preparing for unforeseen changes, and everyone must prepare for great shocks. The Young and the Restless. Clare and Kyle's relationship and new conflicts. Genoa City, where secrets are hidden behind bright smiles and complicated relationships, is always full of plots that keep viewers glued to the screen. While Clare and Kyle continue to explore their relationship, a series of tense events are taking place, bringing them into an inevitable conflict. Love, betrayal, and difficult decisions are pushing them to a new direction, and their story is not only a romance but also a struggle with suspicions and intrigues from those around them. Victoria and Clare. The doubts begin. Victoria Newman, one of the city's strongest women, has never had an easy time trusting those around her. She always has doubts, especially when it comes to important decisions in her family or company. With recent developments, Victoria is not afraid to share her doubts with Clare, who has gradually become an important part of Kyle's life. Although Clare feels that her relationship with Kyle is developing well, Victoria's worries begin to make her rethink what she really wants. Will Clare be able to overcome these doubts, or will she let them control her decisions? And will Kyle, in the face of Victoria's skepticism, be able to maintain this relationship and convince Clare that their love is real? This situation is only the beginning of the conflicts that will arise between the characters. While Victoria is skeptical, Clare must face her own conflicting emotions. Should she continue to trust Kyle and face the challenges, or will she let Victoria's warnings control her? Things will not be as easy as Clare imagined, and this fight will have profound consequences for her relationship with Kyle. Nikki and Clare and Kyle's big decision. Nikki Newman, Victoria's mother and one of the most influential figures in the Newman family, takes a more realistic view of the situation. While Victoria is always very negative and reactive, Nikki feels that Clare and Kyle need to live their own lives, navigating their own futures without being influenced by outside pressures. According to her, if Clare and Kyle truly love each other, they need to be free to make decisions without being influenced by anyone, even family members. Nikki not only gives wise advice but also creates opportunities for Clare and Kyle to find peace in their own lives. This makes Clare feel more relieved, and Kyle gradually realizes that if he wants to maintain a long-term relationship, he needs to respect Clare's decisions, no matter how difficult they are. When Clare and Kyle decide to take some space for their relationship, it marks a turning point. They will not only face challenges from the outside but also challenges from within their own hearts. Can they build a solid future when doubts and a family life full of intrigue always threaten them? Billy, Phyllis, and Sally. A conflict full of tension. While Clare and Kyle are facing internal and family conflicts, Billy Abbott is caught in another conflict that is equally tense. The relationship between Billy, Phyllis, and Sally Spectra is on the brink of collapse. Billy, who is anxious and sensitive by nature, notices that Phyllis may be leaving Abbott Communications after her son, Daniel, decides to leave the company. Billy fears that Phyllis's departure will create a big void in the company, and he begins to look for ways to remedy the situation. One of the options Billy considered was to partner with Sally if Phyllis did indeed leave. Although Sally declined the offer, Billy's approach to her strained his relationship with Phyllis. Phyllis, with her strong and unflappable personality, could never accept Billy's attempt to replace her with Sally. Phyllis and Sally not only had disagreements at work, but also personal conflicts. Phyllis knew that Sally was plotting to form an alliance against Aristotle Dumas, and she did not hesitate to reveal this information to Billy. This left Billy with a dilemma: should he support Sally while she could bring new opportunities to Abbott Communications, or should he side with Phyllis, with whom he had a long history and close working relationship? Sally, though somewhat reluctant, cannot avoid Phyllis's criticism. She knows that she is playing a risky game, and clarifying her relationship with Billy will only complicate things. Phyllis, not one to be taken lightly, will not hesitate to respond with sarcastic remarks and attacks on Sally, creating a no-holds-barred war in the world of Abbott communications. The conflict between Phyllis and Sally, who will win in the end? The war between Phyllis and Sally is not limited to work but also includes personal factors. Phyllis cannot stand the possibility of Sally working with Billy, and the development of this relationship makes Phyllis feel more insecure. She begins to suspect that Sally may be trying to intrude on her personal life, not only in work but also in personal relationships. However, Sally is not someone who is easily subdued. She won't let Phyllis win this battle easily. The relationship between the two will be tense, and the hidden battles will continue to unfold in the following episodes. Everything is leading to a major conflict, from personal relationships to business intrigue. Everything is leading to an inevitable conflict. Clare and Kyle will face suspicions and challenges from the outside, while Billy and Phyllis will be caught in a battle of power and loyalty. Important decisions will be made, and neither of them can escape the consequences that this war will bring. Genoa City will never be at peace until these conflicts are resolved, and viewers will surely continue to follow every development in this dramatic life. The Young and the Restless, relationships, conspiracies, and fiery conflicts. The Young and the Restless has always been known for its complicated relationships, hidden agendas, and constant conflicts between its characters. In recent episodes, tensions between Billy Abbott, Phyllis Summers, and Sally Spectra have been escalating. From controversial proposals to scheming revelations, these characters are facing major challenges in both their careers and their love lives. This article will delve into the dramatic details of Billy, Phyllis, and Sally's complicated relationships and confrontations, along with the doubts and worries that Clare and Kyle face in a world filled with dark and mysterious stories. Billy, Phyllis, and Sally. A tense conflict. Billy Abbott, sensitive by nature and concerned about the stability of Abbott communications, is faced with a difficult situation when Phyllis Summers may leave. After Daniel leaves, Billy feels that his absence will create a big void in the company, which prompts Billy to think of alternatives. One of Billy's ideas is to partner with Sally Spectra if Phyllis does decide to leave. Although Billy is only thinking about the possibility, his suggestion makes Sally feel uncomfortable. Although Sally turns down the offer, she cannot avoid discussing it with Phyllis, which will certainly make Phyllis feel dissatisfied. Phyllis, who is always defensive and does not accept alternatives in her work, will not forgive Billy and Sally easily, especially when she feels abandoned in such a situation. Phyllis, with her strong and direct nature, not only felt angry about Billy's offer of cooperation but also worried about Sally's appearance in Abbott communications. Sally had been a formidable opponent of Phyllis, and now, with Sally's appearance in an important role in the company, Phyllis felt like she was being pushed aside. However, Sally was not an easy opponent to defeat. She understood that her schemes could create tension in the company, but she continued to play this game, constantly expanding her relationship with Billy. A big shock came when Phyllis revealed to Billy that Sally had tried to form an alliance against Aristotle Dumas. This was a big revelation, causing Billy to reconsider his relationship with Sally. Upon learning this information, Billy felt awkward between the two women he was involved with. Sally may have done things that Billy did not know about, and now he is faced with a situation that he could not have foreseen. Phyllis also makes no secret of her displeasure with Sally's efforts to build power in the company. The relationship between Phyllis and Sally is becoming more and more tense, and the confrontation between the two women is only a matter of time. Phyllis will not hesitate to respond to Sally with sarcastic and insinuating remarks, and this makes their relationship even more difficult to save. Victoria and Clare, doubts and important decisions. While Billy and Phyllis are struggling with intrigue at work, Clare and Kyle are facing great doubts and pressure from their families. Victoria Newman, with her experience and business acumen, cannot help but share her concerns about Clare and Kyle's relationship. Although Clare is living happily with Kyle, Victoria cannot ignore her doubts about the couple's future. Victoria, being cautious by nature, fears that Clare may encounter great difficulties when entering a new life with Kyle, especially when Clare does not fully understand the problems Kyle is facing in work and family. She shares these thoughts with Clare, advising her to be more careful in her upcoming decisions. Victoria's advice makes Clare start to doubt her relationship. Is she too blinded by her love for Kyle? Or could Victoria's warnings be true? Meanwhile, Kyle, although he loves Clare and wants to build a future with her, cannot ignore the advice from his family, especially from Victoria. The doubts she raises may force Kyle to face the harsh truth about what he is looking for in life and love. But is he strong enough to overcome these difficulties and continue to maintain his relationship with Clare? Nikki, Victoria's mother, has a different opinion. She feels that Kyle and Clare need to make their own decisions in life without pressure from anyone. Nikki doesn't want to see her daughter continue to worry about their relationship. If Clare and Kyle truly love each other, they should have the freedom to choose their own paths without the interference of their families. With Nikki's support, Clare and Kyle may decide to have their own spot on the show on Tuesday, where they can focus on building their own separate and independent futures. Billy and the fierce clash, who will win? Billy Abbott, while trying to maintain stability in the company, is faced with a conflict between Phyllis and Sally, two important women in his life. Billy's concern that Phyllis might leave the company adds to the tension in the relationship between the three. Billy wants to find a way to keep Abbott communication stable, but disagreements between members of the company could destroy everything. Phyllis, with her difficult personality, will not easily give up her power in the company. She will fight to keep her position, despite all the intrigue and betrayal that Sally may be plotting. Meanwhile, Sally will not give up the opportunity to achieve her goals, and the battle between her and Phyllis will only become more fierce. Inevitable confrontations. Recent episodes of The Young and the Restless have created a tense web where personal and professional relationships intertwine. Every decision, whether in the company or in love, has unpredictable consequences. Billy, Phyllis, and Sally will not stop in this battle, and the relationship between Clare and Kyle will certainly face great challenges from those around them. Genoa City once again becomes the scene of intrigue, plotting, and never-ending conflict between these colorful characters.